The text message arrives at 2:17 a.m. One line. Check your account. You think it's a scam until the banking app opens and your hands stop moving. The balance is longer than the screen can show. More zeros than you've ever seen in your life. You refresh it once. Twice. 3 times. The number doesn't change. $487 million and 13 cents. You sit on the edge of your bed in the dark, phone glowing against your face, and for the first time in your life, silence feels loud. 10 minutes ago, your apartment smelled like old takeout and cheap detergent. Now every object in the room looks temporary. The cracked ceiling, the stained carpet, the buzzing refrigerator. It all belongs to someone else. Someone poorer. Someone who still has to wake up for work in 5 hours. You don't sleep. By sunrise, you're staring at the city through your window, watching buses crawl through rain like nothing happened, while your heartbeat sounds like someone pounding on a locked door. By 9 a.m., 3 missed calls come from unknown numbers. By 9:12, one of them leaves a voicemail. A calm male voice. No greeting. No name. Do not tell anyone. Someone will contact you. Then the line goes dead. You laugh because it sounds ridiculous. Then you stop laughing because the front door downstairs buzzes and someone enters your building. You hear the elevator rising. Floor by floor. It stops outside your apartment. No knock. Just silence on the other side of the door. You look through the peephole and see a man in a charcoal suit standing perfectly still, holding a black folder. He looks like he's been there all night. When you open the door, he doesn't smile. He says your full name. Middle name included. He hands you the folder. Inside is a non-disclosure agreement, a private banking contact, and a one-way ticket leaving in 4 hours. Business class. Destination, Zurich. You should call the police. You should tell your mother. You should ask questions. Instead, you sign. The pen shakes in your hand. The man takes the folder and says, "Pack light." The airport changes when you're rich. Nobody checks your passport twice. Nobody asks why you booked a same-day international flight with no luggage. At the lounge, a woman in white gloves hands you a black credit card with no logo. She says your name quietly, like she already knows every secret you've ever kept. You board first. The cabin smells like leather and champagne. You sit alone in a seat that folds into a bed and realize this is not luck. This is selection. Somewhere over the Atlantic, a man in a navy suit sits across from you without asking. He places a tablet on the table. Your name is already on the screen. Beneath it, a list of assets. Offshore trusts. Shell companies. Real estate in London, Dubai, Singapore. You tell him there must be a mistake. He says there isn't. He explains that a distant relative died. No heirs. No public record. The money was moved through legal channels. Tax cleared. Irrevocable. Then he says something that turns your stomach. The wealth comes with discretion. You ask what that means. He smiles for the first time. It means people are already looking for you. Zurich is cold enough to hurt. A black car waits on the runway. No customs. No terminal. The driver never speaks. The car descends into an underground garage beneath a private bank where no signs exist. Inside, marble floors swallow your footsteps. You're led through biometric doors into a room with no windows. There's a table, a watch, a phone, 2 men. One explains investment structures. One watches your face. They ask if you understand the scale of what you now control. You say yes, but you don't. Not yet. The first week feels like a dream. Penthouse suite. Tailored suits. Drivers. Assistants. Passwords. Security briefings. You buy a watch worth more than your old apartment building. You send your boss a resignation email from the back seat of a Maybach. You tip a waiter $10,000 just to see his face. You wire money to your family. You pay off debts you didn't know existed. Every door opens. Every reservation appears. Every person suddenly remembers your name. But money this large has gravity. It bends people. Your phone becomes a weapon. Old classmates message you. Cousins you haven't seen in years call crying. Investors invite you to private dinners in rooms above restaurants that don't exist on maps. A woman kisses you on a rooftop in Monaco and asks what your security team carries under their jackets. You realize she isn't interested in you. She's interested in access. By month 2, your apartment back home is gone. Sold without seeing it. Your old clothes are in storage. Your fingerprints unlock 3 safes in 3 countries. A private jet waits with engines running because you mention over dinner that you miss Tokyo. You start saying things like, "My people will handle it." The words taste strange, then normal. You stop checking prices. You stop carrying cash. You stop making eye contact with strangers because every face feels like a request. At first, the power feels clean. Then the invitations change. A dinner in Geneva where no one uses last names. A villa in the desert surrounded by armed guards. A handshake with a man whose watch has dried blood beneath the clasp. They talk about oil, ports, elections. You learn that money this old does not sit still. It moves governments. It buries scandals. It makes people disappear. You are not being welcomed into luxury. You are being introduced to a machine. And now you are inside it. The first compromise seems harmless. Sign here. Move this account. Attend this meeting. Smile for this photo. The transfer is legal. The company is real. But no one explains why the directors all use aliases. No one explains why your signature is needed at 1:43 a.m. in a private office above a casino in Macau. You tell yourself it's business. You tell yourself everyone at this level does things differently. Then one night your security chief knocks on your bedroom door at 3:11 a.m. He says your old friend posted your private jet tail number online. He asks if you want it handled. The way he says handled makes your blood run cold. You stare at him too long before saying no. The next day, the post is gone anyway. You don't ask how. You stop calling friends because they either want money or ask too many questions. You stop seeing family because every visit requires advanced security sweeps and armored vehicles. Your mother hugs you in a house you bought her and asks why 2 men with earpieces are parked outside. You lie so easily it scares you. At night, you scroll through old photos of yourself eating noodles at 1 a.m. in a tiny kitchen, and the person in those photos looks poor, but peaceful. Now you sleep behind bulletproof glass on the 57th floor. The elevator to your penthouse requires a code that changes every 6 hours. There's a panic room behind your closet. There's a pistol in the drawer beside your bed even though you've never fired one. You wake every time the phone vibrates. Every unknown number feels like a threat. Every private invitation feels like a test. Every smile has a price. Then the first death happens. A man you met in Zurich. Quiet, expensive suits. Perfect manners. He doesn't show up to the quarterly meeting. Nobody mentions him. His name vanishes from every file. His office is emptied by lunch. When you ask, the room goes silent. Your assistant changes the subject. That night, your driver takes a different route home. You notice because the tunnel is wrong. You ask why. He checks the mirror and says, "Standard precaution." He drives faster. You don't look out the window after that. By the end of the year, you own islands, aircraft, and enough art to fill a museum. But every room feels borrowed. Every city feels temporary. You don't know which country your money is actually in. You don't know which people work for you and which are watching you. You've gained access to everything. But every luxury comes with a code, a guard, a silence agreement, a camera pointed at the door. The strange part is how quickly you adapt. The fear becomes routine. The private terminal. The armed convoy. The encrypted phones in lined black cases. The chef who tastes your food first. The assistant who burns documents in a steel bin on the balcony at midnight. It all becomes normal. That's how the trap closes. Not with violence. With comfort. You stop asking if this life is safe. You start asking if you could ever survive without it. One night, in a glass tower above the Gulf, you stand alone in a room the size of a hotel lobby. The city glows beneath you like circuitry. Your reflection stares back from the window, wearing a suit tailored in Milan, a watch worth a house, and a face that looks 10 years older than it should. The phone rings. A known number. You answer. A voice says, "We need your approval." You don't ask for what. You just say yes. Then you hang up and realize you can't remember the last decision you made that was truly yours. The money came overnight. The ownership didn't. You don't control the wealth. The wealth controls the rooms you enter, the people who touch your shoulder, the planes you board, the lies you tell, the names you forget. By the time the world calls you successful, your old life has already been erased. And by the time you have everything, there's nowhere left to hide.